Josiah was only 8 years old when he ascended to the throne of Judah, following the untimely death of his father, King Amon. Inexperienced and young, the task to lead a nation fell heavily upon his small shoulders. Yet, this child king would grow to become one of the most revered leaders of his time, remembered for his unwavering faith and relentless pursuit of righteousness. The kingdom Josiah inherited was fraught with turmoil, idolatry, and moral decay. The people had turned away from the covenant made with their ancestors, abandoning the worship of Yahweh for pagan gods and corrupt practices. The temple itself, now neglected and in disrepair, mirrored the spiritual destitution of the nation. Despite his youth, Josiah demonstrated a precocious wisdom and deep-seated desire for change. Under the guidance of his advisors, particularly the high priest Hilkiah, Josiah began to seek a closer relationship with God. At the age of 16, Josiah made a personal commitment to follow Yahweh and bring his people back to the faith of their forefathers. At the age of 20, Josiah began a sweeping campaign to purge Judah of idolatry. He ordered the destruction of the high places, sacrificial altars, and graven images scattered throughout the land. Josiah's fervent zeal spurred the priests and Levites to rediscover the laws of Moses, long forgotten and buried beneath the debris of neglect. During the renovation of the temple, Hilkiah stumbled upon a scroll buried in its depths. It was the Book of the Law, a manuscript that contained the ancient commandments and covenants given to Moses. Upon hearing its words, Josiah was filled with remorse for the sins of his people. He tore his garments in a traditional expression of grief and repentance. Josiah summoned all the elders and people of Judah to the temple, where the words of the scroll were read aloud. The nation stood silent, their hearts collectively stirred as the truths of their heritage unfolded before them. Josiah made a covenant before Yahweh, pledging to adhere to his commands and lead his people in righteousness. Under Josiah's rule, the land of Judah underwent a spiritual revival. The Passover celebration, which had fallen into disuse, was restored with grandeur, reigniting the nation's relationship with Yahweh. Josiah's earnest efforts fortified his people's faith, aligning them with the divine laws once more. However, peace in the land was fragile. As Josiah's reign progressed, Egypt rose as a formidable force, threatening the security of Judah. Pharaoh Necho too sought to engage forces in Assyria, but his march through the land of Judah became an unintended provocation for the young king. Determined to preserve his nation's independence, Josiah decided to confront Pharaoh Necho at the rising battle of Megiddo. Despite warnings, he donned a warrior's armor and joined the fray. In the thick of battle, Josiah was struck by archers, the fatal blows sealing his fate.